Right, hello and welcome to the EcoBiz Show, where you can get ideas to grow your business and make it greener. And today I'm joined by Lucy Spencer from Conscious Business Solutions, and we're talking about using conscious strategies to improve employee retention and engagement and transform your business. So welcome, Lucy. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me here.
So just a little bit about Lucy. She's a business consultant specialising in enhancing business operation throughout a company's systems and culture and optimising business energy. SME leaders are taught a people-centric approach using traditional conscious practices with a holistic twist. So let's launch to the questions, find out a bit more about this and what led you to create Conscious Business Solutions.
It felt like a natural progression of things. I was a project manager for a decade in corporate companies. So I was there in the middle of things. I was upgrading systems, but I was also increasingly getting involved with the people around me and ensuring that they were happy and kind of fulfilled with the work they were doing. And I knew that that was the best way to get the most out of my projects. So there was very much a people element there. I jumped out of doing that in 2017, like so many people, a little bit disillusioned with corporate life. I went to work for a mentor of mine who I'd actually been learning energy tools from. So all about colors, numbers, symbols, sounds. And I went to work with her in a startup. And that was the first time I came across a business that was consciously putting in place conscious business practices. And even though we didn't really speak much about that terminology, it was in effect what we were doing. We were trying to put in place a way of operating that meant that people felt like part of a family. They felt like they were involved in decisions, and they felt like they had a future there. So it was a very different experience to what I'd had in the corporate world. But after a couple of years of that, jumped out of that, and I had some people pull me into their businesses and say, can you come and help? I'm starting a business. Can you put in place all the structure that you can do? Because they knew that was my background, with that conscious thing that you do. So put in place the conscious practices that you do. So I found myself suddenly helping people within their businesses without having really thought about it or attempting to start a business. Suddenly there I was with one.
Brilliant. I mean, that's it. It's obviously there was a demand for it. So you sort of like, instead of sort of setting up that, it came to you and created, a demand and a niche area where you could actually create a business out of. So that's fantastic. And what are some of the ways you work with businesses to kind of improve their business and culture?
The core thing that I provide is a conscious strategy report. So literally going into a business and doing a very classic as is to be analysis, talking to everybody in the business as well, though. So really digging deep into how that company is currently operating across the systems and the culture. So looking at things like governance practices, processes and procedures, current strategies, ways of operating, ways of working, across to HR specific things like employee wellness and benefits and personal development. So touching on all of those things to really see how conscious those companies are and working out a plan to get to where they want to go. So that's the core offering, which is very effective at putting in place things in a way that's right for that business. So it's very much a bespoke service. But for a smaller company or a company that's up for the challenge of doing it themselves, I've also got a 6-week course all about what conscious business practices are, how amazing they are for a small company, and how to implement them into a business, as well as a 2-hour online workshop, which is all about how to become more ethical and sustainable in your working practices.
Fantastic. And we'll touch on that again just at the end and how people can go about booking that. So what are there maybe a couple of strategy or tips you could share with us and our viewers and those who are sort of catching up in the replay as well, that can help small businesses be more conscious and transform?
Absolutely. I would say starting place for any business is your purpose. So if you've got a really strong purpose, it's really going to drive your business forward. It's going to really set the direction of your business. And it's amazing to see that it draws people to you. People are inspired by a strong business purpose. So that's the starting place. Really kind of have a think, spend time on it, because that's really going to dictate how your business moves forward and how things flow within your business. And then I'd say really get people involved in what you're doing. Get their say, your employees' say on how you're operating, what products you're working on. Could even be things like working hours, have that flexibility, have that openness, so that people really feel like they are part and parcel of your business. And always, whenever you're putting in place new practices or taking decisions within your business, think about how it's going to impact people and the planet. So it's just having that awareness and checking in. Okay, what is this going to mean for people and the planet? That really helps to ensure that you continue to be a conscious business.
Yeah. So it's always coming back. So whenever someone's doing specific tasks, process, systems within their business, it's always kind of coming back to that purpose and saying, am I ticking those boxes?
Absolutely. Making sure, you're still aligned to your purpose. You're working according to the values that everybody's agreed. And that, you're moving forward in the direction that you want to be moving forward in.
Brilliant. And our final question is, what is your top eco tip?
I want to go quite high level here, and it literally is because there are so many businesses out there that still need to think about this. It would be just to have a sustainability plan that you're continuously evolving, which everybody's feeding into. Which, as I say, there are so many businesses that know they want to move in that direction, but they're not quite sure how to start. And I say, just get started, but have that plan. And then you can make sure that you're putting in place things that are realistic, that are going to be achievable for you. You don't have to do everything at once, but just get started and just slowly move in the direction that you want to go in. I know that you'll keep building, you'll keep putting in place more and more things to allow yourself to become more sustainable.
That's brilliant. That's really, really good advice for people. Thank you for sharing that. So just to kind of wrap things up a little bit, we've still got a little bit of time. We've actually got through quite a lot, but so maybe you can talk to us a little bit more. I mean, we have a lot of you work with a lot of bigger businesses, but a lot of people watching the show are solopreneurs, ecopreneurs, and that as well. So you were saying you did the 6-week course. Would that be suitable for people like that, and also your workshop as well, or is it aimed at people who've got employees?
Yeah, both of them absolutely would be. And I actually, when I first started out with Conscious Business Solutions, I was working with startups and smaller businesses, and I feel that these things are really effective with the smaller business as well. Even though I'll talk now about employee engagement and retention, you don't have to have employees in order to put these things in place, because you're still going to be, for instance, putting in place practices to show yourself more care, to reward yourself more. It's things that we all need in business. And especially when there's no one else looking out for us, we need to look out for ourselves first and foremost. And the more time and care we put into ourselves, the better we'll be able to serve our clients. So some of the conscious tips that you'll learn within the course and the workshop is definitely beneficial to a small business. I've actually had small businesses attend the workshop and kind of not be a bit dubious about how useful they'd find it, but they kind of walked away raving about it, seeing how useful it was for a micro business.
Fantastic. Yeah. And they've got then some tools and strategies to put processes, systems in place and that as well. And that,
exactly. Which is
wellness, like you say, is so important, isn't it?
So hard, especially for a small business. Sometimes you start a business and you know what you know, but some of the structure of having a business can be a little bit daunting and kind of you semi-know some of the things you'd be doing, but not quite, all of it. And so it's really useful to come to something like this where you get structure, but structure in a conscious, caring manner.
I love that. Brilliant. Okay, well, we better wrap up. So you've got a 2-hour workshop on the 1st of June, and it's called Create Your Sustainable Business Foundation. And people can get in touch with you via LinkedIn. So for anyone watching or catching up on the replay, look for Lucy Spencer, Conscious Business Solutions on LinkedIn. And you can also visit her website at consciousbusinesssolutions.co.uk. So thank you so much, Lucy, for joining us. Such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and to all of our viewers, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, or you can sign up to my newsletter, which I send out, maybe once a month, once every fortnight, when I've got something great to share or show. So you can get that delivered straight to your inbox. So thank you so much. Take care, everybody, and see you on the next show.